plants and vegetables are not healthy for you. If you're not eating enough meat and enough protein, then you can feel guilty about that, because that's pretty much the only building blocks available in nature.
Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. Yes, there are people out there using their social media trying to convince the world to never eat plants again. No more fruits, no more vegetables. I first heard talk like this when we discovered Sean Baker on Joe Rogan's podcast. Remember that doctor who says to eat only meat? Well, just recently I became aware of this YouTuber, Zero Carb, No BS, and usually I don't make response videos for very small channels like hers, but what she's saying here in her channel is just so outrageous and dangerous, it deserves a response. So let's jump right into her 3 reasons why people should never eat plants ever again.
Reason number 1 is that vegetables are not part of our primal diet. Our original diet is made out of things that we used to hunt.
Ah, of course. Yeah, I see where she's going with this.
So the only thing in nature available for humankind is animal.
Clearly, she has no understanding of what our original diet is. And our original diet is quite diverse because it covers such a diverse period of time. As I showed in my recent video debunking the fruitarian position that fruit is our natural diet. Well, if you go back 4+ million years to Australopithecus, yeah, they were primarily fruitarians. And after that, Homo erectus started cooking starchy tubers from the ground. But nowhere in human history has it ever been determined that humans were eating 100% meat, as she's claiming here.
Meat is the only source of food that we've lived and thrived on for thousands of years.
That's just so not true. For tens of thousands of years, humans have been eating starches, they've been eating nuts and seeds, all sorts of plant foods. And let's just give it to her. Let's just say what she's saying is true, which it ain't, but let's just pretend it is. Just because our ancestor did a certain activity in our past doesn't mean we ought to be doing it now in the present. For instance, like pooping. Tens of thousands of years ago, they had to poop in a squatted position, squatting in a hole. Does she do that because it's the best and healthiest, most natural way to poop? I really doubt it.
Reason number 2, vegetables are not natural.
Uh-oh, vegetables are made out of some weird space-age material in outer space or something, huh?
Vegetables are a product of agriculture. They have been developed and created not by nature, but by man, and very often in a laboratory.
First of all, what she's using there is the appeal to nature fallacy, which is a person trying to assume that if something is natural, it's assumed to be good, and if something is not natural, it's assumed to be bad. In this case, she's assuming vegetables are bad because humans had a hand in their development. They weren't created solely by nature. Well, she is an extreme hypocrite here because she eats meat from cows, and cows have been domesticated by humans for over 10,000 years. They get from original creatures called aurochs to modern cows. Humans have had a heavy hand in breeding and selecting the characteristics they want to produce modern cows. So modern cows are not natural, they're bad. You're totally screwed. You have nothing to eat now.
All vegetables that you find in your grocery store have been modified. They may not be called GMO, but they are called hybrids. And that's because those things have been created by the agriculture industry.
Again, she's using the appeal to nature fallacy. Just because a plant or organism is a hybrid crossed with another plant species doesn't make it bad or unhealthy or not nutritious or it will kill you. I mean, even cattle have been crossed with other species to produce hybrids.
They are not nutritionally balanced.
Why not? Just because a plant has been hybridized doesn't mean it's not nutritionally balanced, as you're saying, or lacks nutrition. I mean, all you have to do is just look up the nutrition facts, like say on Chronometer for any plant, and you'll see that plants are not devoid of nutrition.
I can guarantee to you that if you eat too much of them, you're going to create a lot of nutritional deficiency. And this is pretty much what happens to most people when they go on all plant diet.
I mean, that's just nonsense. How many times do I have to debunk this stupid claim from anti-vegans that vegan diets, plant-based diets are devoid of nutrition, you'll be deficient in vitamins? I mean, I've been vegan now for over 7 years. I have my blood tests up. I put them up about every 18 months, and they just keep getting better and better and better the longer I'm vegan. But according to her, I'm eating all these nutritionally imbalanced foods. I should be dead. How come I'm not dead yet? And how come there's so many vegans I know who have been vegan like, say, 20 to 30 years, and they're doing fine too? She is just full of it.
They are highly deficient. Not only from the fact that they're not getting enough protein, but also from the fact that they are eating hybrid foods.
Really, you had to go there with the protein deficient vegan thing. If I had a nickel for every time I heard an anti-vegan say that, yet no anti-vegan has been able yet to produce even one protein deficient vegan. I've never met one. In fact, I put my blood tests up. Like I say, my protein is fine. It's just a myth. Vegans are not deficient in protein, or else we'd probably know about one or two by now.
So reason number 3 is the fact that vegetables have fiber, vegetables and fruits.
Fiber? Like, that's supposed to be a bad thing?
I can tell you that fiber is not good for you.
Well, you can try to tell us that, but it's simply not true. Let's hear your reasoning, though.
And the reason why fiber is not good for you is because it provides a nesting environment for candida, fungus, and microorganisms to flourish.
So according to her, eating plants with fiber causes an unhealthy gut bacteria situation, which goes against all science on the matter. Even Dr. Stork has changed his mind and eats more plants because he knows about gut bacteria science. Anyway, she's saying instead we should have a fiber fast, cleanse our body of fiber, and all these great things will happen.
What happens is that they strip off all the fiber from their digestive system, and all these creatures that were creating problems and draining them off of their energy are gone.
I mean, this is just ridiculously silly and just completely untrue. And it reminds me of a video that Dr. Greger made a few years ago about the traditional diet of Uganda, where the people there eat an obscene amount of vegetables and fiber.
Heart disease was so rare among those eating these traditional plant-based diets. There were papers published like this: a case of coronary heart disease in an African? After 26 years of medical practice, they finally recorded their first case of coronary heart disease in a judge consuming a partially westernized diet, having fiber-free foods like meat, dairy, and eggs displace some of the plant foods in his diet.
And speaking of heart disease, check out eating an all-meat diet reversed this clogged artery in this heart patient's heart. Nope, just kidding. This happened on a whole food, plant-based diet. Ain't ever going to happen on your meat-based diet.
I think this would probably be the last reason, and that is the fact that plants, vegetables, produces poison.
Are you serious? Poison?
Pure poison.
Okay, I've never heard that one before, so let her teach us. Let's all watch and learn about how the plants we eat produce poison.
When you hunt an animal, it has the ability to run away or defend its life. When you are after a plant, it has no ability to run away. It's rooted in the ground. Therefore, it has to develop a defense mechanism. And that defense mechanism is poisoning whatever is trying to eat it. So those are called anti-nutrients, but I like to call them poison.
She just got so much wrong there with anti-nutrients, it's not even funny. First of all, anti-nutrients have nothing to do with being produced when a plant is under stress, like say when it's being harvested or being attacked by an animal. Anti-nutrients are merely compounds within a plant that may interfere with the absorption of nutrients. And remember how she's so against modern crops because they've been produced through the hand of man? Well, actually, modern crops have reduced levels of anti-nutrients. And furthermore, if you do basic things like cook your food, it pretty much renders anti-nutrients out.
What happens when you stop eating all those vegetables that fill up your stomach is that you're going to have more room for the good stuff. And the good stuff is meat, eggs, and raw dairies.
Oh yeah, the good stuff, otherwise known as Class 1 and Class 2A carcinogens, or even eggs, in which the US government will not allow egg board funded companies to say eggs are healthy or safe. Yeah, the good stuff. What really irritates me about these zero carbers who are afraid of eating plants, try to make people afraid of eating plants, is it's just misinformation. There's such an overwhelming mountain of science showing the healthful benefits of eating whole food plants, particularly if you want to avoid or prevent or reverse the leading causes of death. Secondly, people eating these diets seem to have no concern for the rights of animals. They have no concern about needlessly killing animals in order for them to think they're going to be healthy, where in fact they could eat, a plant-based diet and not only be healthy, but not needlessly kill these poor animals who never asked to have their lives taken for you zero carbers. And thirdly, the environmental impact of your diet is much greater than if you're eating a plant-based diet. So this zero carb, no carb, keto thing is just a lose, lose, lose for health, for the animals, and for the environment. That's why if I seem a little irritated right now, I am. So anyway, leave your questions and comments down below. What did you think of anything she said in this video? How plants are unhealthy, they cause disease, and the way out of that is to eat nothing but meat and eggs and dairy. Let me know your thoughts down below. Share this with a friend who's trying to convince you that vegan is unhealthy, that plants are bad for you. And I guess that's about it. So until next time, guys, let's keep it carbed. Yes, carbohydrate plants, baby.